What's going on, guys? I hope you're all having a good day. The Black Ops 7 beta is now officially moving into its first weekend of being available, and unfortunately the turmoil online has just been completely, I guess, mixed. There's, certain people who are enjoying the game, and there's a lot of people who are just completely crapping all over the game, and I can't blame them, to be honest. We've been receiving the same Call of Duty every single year for the past 5 years, or 6 years, ever since MW 2019. It has been the same thing. We are receiving the same game with the same walking animations from the lobbies, the same skill-based matchmaking, the same disbanding lobbies. It's the same thing over and over, and unfortunately we're not going to see any change until people actually decide to buck up and decide to not buy Black Ops 7. Is the only way to make any significant change in the Call of Duty franchise. But before we get into that, make sure you guys leave a big old like on the video, and make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get our way to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I'd really appreciate it if you came along with me. And so yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. I mentioned in yesterday's review of the Black Ops 7 beta that you just log in and you're immediately met with the same bullcrap that you're always having to deal with when you're playing Call of Duty nowadays. You jump on the game and you just want to have a good time, but you have to spend 30 to 40 minutes just to get into the game because the game has to restart 4 or 5 times. At least in my experience, I had to restart the game multiple times in order to just play. I don't understand what these updates are adding into the game. They're actually extremely annoying at this point, but unfortunately that's not the only thing. We have issues of skill-based matchmaking also being an extreme issue in the beta. I had maybe the opportunity to play maybe 6 or 7 matches when I played last on the first day of the beta, and it was just a complete joke as I played because the first match felt okay. It felt like a normal Call of Duty lobby, and then once that algorithm got a hold of my account, I could not do anything fun. The entire time I was playing, you're getting one shot from the super fast TTK and people are butt sliding around, and of course there's also the fact that there's no audio being available in the game either. You cannot hear what's going on at all in these games. What was that? And I'm packet bursting off the first fucking... Oh, dude, come on. This clip was actually from me playing the Black Ops 7 beta for the first time. It was my first match, and although I didn't do exactly well, I was still trying to get used to the wall jumping and all the issues that I was having, just kind of because I really felt like the game should have had a double jump like Black Ops 3 or just some jetpack, and we saw the clips of people being able to use that early in the information campaign for Black Ops 7. There was, files in the Warzone game mode that had you using jetpacks, so everybody expected there to be jetpacks in the game, and it really does feel like it should be there. The double jumping or the jumping off the walls really doesn't feel very good just because it's super situational, and it does catch you off guard slightly every now and then, but at the same time it's just the most gimmicky thing they could possibly add into the game. It's such a fucking useless thing that I feel like I don't see anyone using half the time other than to get some verticality. Those are like the main issues that people are having. The wall jumping is dumb, the doors are annoying. It's like little things that they can obviously fix, but they're not going to fix things like disbanding lobbies and skill-based matchmaking unless we actually take a stand and try to get against what they're trying to do. If we don't sit here and continue to buy the game, if people keep buying the game, which the pre-order eventually went up this week, it actually got into the top 10, which it just fucking pains me to see people doing, because you're just giving Activision a reason to continue to use these systems that are actively killing your game. It is undeniable that every year Call of Duty seems to be getting worse and worse, and the player counts continue to drop drastically every single time. I think this year is going to be even worse, and if you sit there and continue to buy each Call of Duty, you're just enabling them. You're enabling Activision to continue these actions, and you are the problem because of this.
I don't buy it!
I implore you to not buy Black Ops 7. I very much desperately am calling people to not buy Black Ops 7. We have seen in the past that games that have gotten criticized heavily have eventually turned themselves around, but because Call of Duty is a yearly cycle, you're not going to be able to send them the message in time, because within a year they just switch over to the next game. These back-to-back Call of Duties have obviously been a huge crutch to the franchise, and I really hope that they don't continue to do this. If they go to Modern Warfare 4 and then make Modern Warfare 4 right after in 2027, we're going to have extreme issues where we're having the same problem that we're having from MW2 to MW3 and now Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 7. It is not a good business practice. I don't understand how Treyarch can even sit there and be like, we wanted to do back-to-back Call of Duties. It didn't work for the MW series. It's not going to work this year, and you can already see it happening. You can see even on the Steam numbers that unfortunately not that many people chimed in to get into the game, and I know there's barriers to entry. It's still technically a closed beta until the 5th, but unless the numbers drastically jump when they open up the beta, which I kind of predict that it's not going to. I think it's going to be about the same. I'm getting off topic because just talking about this game gets me just completely riled up, and to the point where I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. But you can't deny that I'm not saying the truth. I'm not speaking things that are incorrect. And if you really think that I'm speaking incorrectly about these things, you know, go down in the comments and let me know. I feel like I'm sitting here saying the things correctly, but if you are sitting there wanting to buy Black Ops 7 again, you are just enabling Activision again to continue doing these scummy practices over and over. The game's going to be filled with microtransactions to the point where you're going to be choked out by them again, and they're going to dump as much content on you as possible to keep you on the game as long as possible. There's a million different camos to grind for. There's a million different things to grind for every week, and that's their crutch this year to keep you interested. And unfortunately, as long as you have systems in the game that are enabled by Activision, you're going to find that people are not willing to play the game. People are dipping out of the beta experience early because you have systems like skill-based matchmaking, like disbanding lobbies, things that people actively, heavily dislike. And you are sitting here not talking about it. They don't even address the issue. There's no communication at all.
I know, let's try and communicate with it.
We saw that the Battlefield, for example, Battlefield 2042 launched with a horrendous launch. The entire game was a complete mess when it came out. But luckily for Battlefield, they have multiple years to work on a game. There's rumors that they want to make Battlefield a yearly title, and I think that would be an absolutely terrible idea. We see how badly it's affecting the Call of Duty franchise, and if they go along with that, then I think we're going to see Battlefield in a pretty bad spot too. But unfortunately for them, they get 4 to 5 years to work on a title. Battlefield 2042 was continued to be worked on and continued to receive content throughout the years, and although it was a bit of a slow drip feed, it kept people somewhat interested in the game, although, you know, not really. There's only a couple thousand people on the game for a while. It was a complete Halo Infinite situation for that one. And, you know, when people end up getting back into it, they realize, oh, well, they actually did kind of turn the game around. They actually did somewhat make the game enjoyable compared to when it first launched. And Call of Duty doesn't have that ability. They launch their game every single year. We have the same issues of the anti-cheat being terrible, and there's already cheaters in the beta. We've seen clips. Good job with that TPM and secure boot.
Fresh out of the factory with no warranty and already broken.
And so we also have issues just with skill-based matchmaking, disbanding lobbies, and all three of those combined is what's really killing Call of Duty as a franchise. And these things aren't going to change unless people actually make the decision to not buy the game. You have to boycott Call of Duty. That is what I'm calling you to do. Boycott Call of Duty. They will not listen to you if you continue to keep buying each and every single title that comes out. It is not going to kill you to step away from Call of Duty. There are so many other grand games that are out there that it doesn't even, like, it's not even the battle between Battlefield and Call of Duty. There's so many amazing games out there on the market that if you're someone that's stuck on Call of Duty every year and you're thinking it's the casual experience, I'm sorry, but you're being completely manipulated into that system. Call of Duty is a complete garbage fest for people to play in. If you're at all somewhat of a high skill player, you're getting completely crapped on by their manipulative system and matchmaking systems that make it unfun for us. But the people who sit there, they want these people that just don't even care. They'll buy the game regardless. It says Call of Duty on it. They go, yep, I'm buying that game. And it enables Activision to continue to use these systems. These systems are manipulative and gross. You are using them to keep noobs into their own brackets. It's a smart system. It's smart. I'll give them credit for that. But unfortunately, anyone with a brain in between their eyeballs and ears and two thumbs that can hold a controller or touch their keyboard and mouse are unfortunately super messed up with the skill-based matchmaking system. It is so unbelievably nasty to play with. It's so unfun. It's super exhausting and is just completely dog shit compared to what we have had in the past. These systems aren't going to be changed unless we actually boycott this year. I'm really curious on what you guys think. Do you think if a large collective of us decide to boycott the game, because I guarantee a lot of the people playing the early Black Ops 7 beta are early access codes that they watch through COD Next or receive them on Twitter or online from a stream. And I don't think a lot of the people playing the beta right now are people who've paid full price. I think there's a very small majority of people actually paying the full price for pre-ordering the game to get into this beta. And if you're pre-ordering the game, you're just the complete reason why Call of Duty is in such a shithole right now. I'm really curious on what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. What do you think if a boycott is available and if it will actually do something to the series? Do you think they will actually finally make the changes that we've been asking? I'm actually very curious on what you guys have to say. And yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. See you later. Bye.